We're a couple weeks into 2025, and Xbox just absolutely cooked with their developer direct, and the first half of the year for Xbox and Game Pass is looking pretty damn amazing. What's going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor 19. I know, shocker, right? It's a video time. You know, I thought 2025 was going to be new year, new Rand. So instead of not making a video, I'm actually going to try to make more of these as I kind of get back in the act of making content. And what I watched today really made me excited for this year, 2025. And partially it's because we get some heavy hitters this year, and Xbox is looking to release games throughout the entire year instead of just like, hey, you know what? You get one game at the beginning of the year, and then we're going to save all the rest of our stuff for the end. 2025 is starting to look like the vision that Xbox had talked about all the way back in 2019 with Matt Booty and Phil Spencer, and this idea of a big game a quarter, right? January, February, March, you get a big game. April, May, June, there's another one. July, August, September, we got you covered. October, November, December, there's something big. Throughout the entire year, you'll be playing something, and it's been hit or miss this generation. They only kind of nailed that aspect in 2023, and other years we're kind of like waiting for stuff. Things get delayed. You know, video game development can be a little turbulent, but this really does seem like the vision that they had talked about starting to come to fruition. And maybe I'll make another video soon about Xbox's 2025 and how it's looking like their best year ever, with maybe upwards of something like 8 to 10 releases. And we're getting 3 big releases from Xbox just this first half of the year, and a surprise announcement, because this developer direct, they had kind of hyped up a mystery game. And it did seem like it leaked out there. People did sort of know what it was. But man, when the reveal hit, it was damn awesome. So we're going to talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel so we can start doing more content and stuff like that. So I guess we'll just start off with the show itself, the presentation. And ever since Tina Amini has joined Xbox and has produced these shows, they've been A-caliber. Seriously. Like, I know we used to complain about Inside Xbox back in the day because it was like an hour long, but they had maybe 10 minutes of content, and it stretched out and people were in their little chairs, and it was just like, you're just wasting our time. Instead, they took a book from Nintendo's direct style format, where it's like, all right, we're going to show you the game, we're going to have some developer interviews, and you get the best fusion of both. Seeing the people behind the game is important, but what makes this format shine to me is it's all gameplay, straight up. This isn't cinematic trailers, this isn't CGI, this is the actual game you will be playing. Sure, maybe the HUD is turned off, but it's gameplay. And that's not something you'd usually get, especially at the showcases where it's just a 2-minute trailer there, another minute trailer there showing off quick cut stuff, CGI things. No, you get to see the game. You get to kind of breathe it in. You get to be like, oh, that's what the game's going to look like. I really love these developer directs for that, to see the people behind the games and then to see how the games actually play. I believe that's so important. But to talk about the games revealed here, we're going to start it off at the beginning, because Microsoft was touting a mystery game. And usually those sort of things are the, tap on the shoulder, be like, hey, we got one more thing for you, right? The surprise at the end. And they shocked everybody because they went right to it in the beginning, and it showed Xbox Global Publishing. So whatever game it was going to be, Microsoft was publishing it, akin to the Ori games, where they don't own the studio, but they are publishing the game. You see the intro, and anybody that's played a Team Ninja game or a Ninja Gaiden game knows exactly what you're in store for. You see the intro, and it's like, oh man, Team Ninja, are we actually going to do this? Is Ninja Gaiden coming back? And indeed it is. Ninja Gaiden is back, developed in partnership between Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, but it does seem like Platinum Games is basically doing most of the grunt work, which is surprising. We've seen a lot of people leave Platinum Games over the last couple years. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Platinum Games we get here. The great developer that is known for stuff like Nier Automata or my favorite Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which Ninja Gaiden 4 kind of does have a little of those vibes, or the amazing masterpiece that is Bayonetta and Vanquish. When Platinum Games is on and their best developers are on a project, they can create some absolutely incredible experiences, but then also sometimes they make games that are steaming piles of excrement. So it's going to be interesting to see which one we get in here. And judging from what we saw, the high-octane energy, hack and slash, over-the-top blood and gore, chopping off heads, chopping off legs, it looks amazing. All the pairing, I love parrying games. And parrying is kind of going to be somewhat of a theme because Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't the only game that's going to feature pairing. It does seem like we have dual protagonists. You have this new character that's introduced and the longtime main character of the series, Ryu Hayabusa. They're shown here interacting. I sort of wonder if you're going to have a level played out from the new character's perspective and then a level played out from Ryu's perspective and then figuring out like why the one character's hunting the other. That's super cool. But everything they showed here, I'm all up for. I loved what I saw of this. Like the fast pace. I love the location too, kind of a darker, neonish Tokyo vibes. But what they showed of this game, man, got me pumped. And the best thing about it, it's coming this year. You don't have long to wait. Xbox has heard the criticism loud and clear about announcing games too early, right? We go back to 2020, and there definitely were games that announced that still haven't released yet. Everwild was announced in 2019. We're still waiting for Fable. You get what I'm talking about. But Microsoft recently have been announcing games closer to the release dates. Like last year, they revealed Gear Z Day, and I think that's probably going to be coming out most likely in 2026. And now we get a reveal of Ninja Gaiden 4 that Xbox is publishing, and it's coming out this fall. And that is a stacked fall for Xbox because cross our fingers that all the games make it. You're going to have Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, a brand new Call of Duty, and Fable? So not only is the first half of the year stacked, the end of the year is going to be stacked as well. After they were finishing up revealing that Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming in 2025, they did a one more thing. And they showed off a trailer for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which seems to be remastered or remade in Unreal Engine 5. It looks just as good as Ninja Gaiden 4. It was a 360 game that came out in 2008, and it's available today. So they did a shadow drop, and all the games here are coming to Game Pass. They made that explicitly clear up front. All the games that you see are coming day one Game Pass. And also, everything is going to be Xbox Play Anywhere, which means if you buy it from Xbox, you'll be able to play it on PC or play it through the cloud or play it on your console. And that is a big perk for purchasing games within the digital Xbox ecosystem. So moving on from Ninja Gaiden 4, we go right into Compulsion's games South of Midnight, which we've seen a lot of clips for. They've been sharing a lot of combat on Twitter. We saw a documentary which showed the game off for a little bit. We got a deeper dive into it. And I'm liking the vibes of this game. I really dig the stop-motion art style they're going for. I'm very curious to see how this Southern Gothic tale plays out with all the folklore that they can use. And sort of seems there's kind of a Metroidvania aspect to the game of moving around the open world with the abilities that you unlock with the points you get. I know that the game is up for pre-order in the Xbox Store for $39.99, so it's not going to be a 100-hour open world game, which is great. A lot of different variety. That seems to be what Xbox is going for. A lot of different things here. I'm very interested in seeing how Compulsion steps up their game from We Happy Few, and I can't even remember the other game right now at the top of my head. I'm not the biggest fans of their previous stuff, but this one definitely has my interest. I do have one small criticism of showing South of Midnight after Ninja Gaiden 4, and that is South of Midnight's combat looks sort of generic when you just got done seeing the incredible high energy, high-octane, over-the-top, gory slaughterfest that is Ninja Gaiden 4 from Platinum, right? Super fast, with parrying and tons of different moves. And then you see South of Midnight's combat, which is a little bit slower, fighting a couple enemies. So it's kind of like, that's a choice putting them back to back. But I'm going to take South of Midnight for what it is whenever I do play it, which is going to be April 8th. So we finally got a release date for that game. Super curious to see how the story and everything plays out in South of Midnight. Moving on from there, we have Expedition 33, which is a game that Microsoft is seemingly pretty high on. It was revealed last year at the Xbox Game Showcase. Immediately, it caught a lot of people's attention with its cinematic style of turn-based RPG action, because turn-based has been done for a long, long time, but it really seems like they're doing a twist on it. Real-time action where you time your button presses to maybe do more damage or you dodge out of the way. And considering I'm in my JRPG bag right now, I just finished Metaphor ReFantasia at about 90 hours long. When I was watching this, I thought to myself, hey, this looks pretty cool. I'm digging the characters, the world is interesting, but the combat and the turn-based stuff looks super cool. You're on my list. It's something I'm definitely looking forward to, and Expedition 33 is coming April 24th. Already you can tell Microsoft's first half of the year Game Pass stuff is pretty crazy, and we'll go over it in full in just a minute because, well, I guess you knew what they're going to end with. The Big Daddy itself. Doom, the Dark Ages, the Doom Slayer. There was kind of some talk that, maybe Doom's not going to be this year. No, it absolutely is. And it's coming earlier than probably most people thought, even though the date had leaked. We got Doom, the Dark Ages coming May 15th, 2025, which is less than 4 months away. It's crazy that in 4 months, we're going to be playing a brand new Doom game. Considering Doom Eternal was nominated for a Game of the Year, I'm so excited for this follow-up. Even though it's a prequel, I'm not the biggest fan of prequels, but my lord, watching this trailer, seeing what they're trying to do, not to mention like the big mech stuff or the flying dragon and how those are fleshed out and its own things, you already know that is going to be so damn amazing to pilot. But it's really all about the moment-to-moment gameplay as the Doom Slayer taking out the enemies, and you've seen some changes, right? And I like what they said during the Direct, where it was like, hey, in Doom 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, we asked you to jump and shoot. But in Doom Dark Ages, we asked you to stand and fight. And you can feel that. It comes across in the trailer. Like, when you think about Doom Eternal and all the acrobatics, all the double, triple dashing to walls to climb, or using the poles to jump around to another area, there were people that didn't enjoy that aspect of the exploration and climbing around doing all that stuff. And it really seems like they moved away from that, and it's like, how do we make this game feel different than the other two before it? And you know what their answer to that was? Parrying with a gigantic saw shield. Oh my god, that looks so incredibly cool. It really feels like the team played Sekiro before really thinking about what they wanted to do with the next Doom. And I know Sekiro would come out even before Doom Eternal, but man, the fact that you have this shield and it can block bullets, you can throw it and dismember enemies, you can stick it into enemies from far away, it even seems like you can throw it and then teleport it, but it really does feel like the big gameplay addition is you're going to have these huge hulking demons coming after you with swords and whatever melee weapons, and you can parry, and the animation looks so great. I can imagine just how fun it's going to be, feeling the rumble in the controller, and then seeing it and hearing the sounds. Like, bro, I'm already over the moon with how this game looks like it's going to play. The changes within the glory kill system, how you can do it from any angle. Very interested to find out, like, what's the story here, right? It's set before 2016, so what we doing? They did mention how they taken the story out of, the lore stuff that you read and put it in the game with more cutscenes and that. But Jesus, like, you want to talk about one of the biggest game releases of the year, Doom the Dark Ages. Looks, you run out of superlatives to use. You run out of adjectives because it is that damn good. And one of the things they did highlight was the ability to Make the game as easy or as hard as you want. Make the game slow or speed it up. Change all these different difficulty settings and game settings, which is really cool. So you can play the game how you want. If you're someone that really finds the challenge in playing at 150% game speed with the low parry window and all those sort of things, you can. But if you're someone who just wants to enjoy it and maybe found that Doom Eternal could be difficult sometimes, well, you set it to your settings and enjoy the game. Xbox absolutely delivered and cooked this year with the Developer Direct. Give it an A. And when you look at it on paper right now, you have Eternal Strands and Sniper Elite Resistance launching in Game Pass at the end of this month, January 28th and January 29th, respectively. You have Avowed from Obsidian coming out on February 18th. You have Atomfall also releasing in Game Pass at the end of March, and who knows what other stuff they'll throw in there. But then you get into April with South of Midnight and Expedition 33, like two totally different styles of games, both big in their own right, coming out that month in Game Pass, with Doom: The Dark Ages, outside of Call of Duty and Starfield, probably the biggest game to hit Game Pass on day one on May 15th, which then will lead into the Xbox June showcase, where you're going to have new trailers for Fable and Outer Worlds 2, and hopefully release dates for both of those, and maybe even another look at Ninja Gaiden. Plus, who knows what else? Everwild showing back finally. Gears Z-Day. It's crazy the amount of content that Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and Activision Blizzard have, and it's always something I've talked about, and it's like, all right, when's it actually going to happen? When are we going to see the plan unfold and see the fruits of that labor, of those acquisitions? And it certainly seems like 2025 is that year. There's a couple years where it was great, and then followed by a year, but maybe it wasn't so good. It's just really super cool to see everything come together. This year is going to be one for the ages, and 2026 is going to be just as good. 2027, they have so many games and so many projects in development. The next few years are going to be absolutely amazing. But for right now, let me know what you thought of the Developer Direct in the comments below. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.